The people over on YouTube. Yeah, I know. Yeah, right. Yeah, come over here on Kick. If you want to enjoy the beginning of the show over on YouTube. Are we live? We live over on YouTube? I think we're live now. If you guys want to enjoy the beginning of the show over on YouTube, come over to Kick where we're playing the music. That's where the real music is. You know what I'm saying? Or that's what a real show is. Lube tube. Yeah. Y'all over there getting fucked. Grifty's tickets are available for VIP, I believe. So like if you in the Telegram, then they're available. I don't know if they're available for everyone yet. I'm probably not gonna buy mine until I get paid on Friday. So hopefully there's still some VIP left. I feel like I should get VIP without paying for VIP though. Like, aren't I just a VIP already? You know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm gonna pay for VIP anyway. Just for the love of the game, for Hotep Nation, but for Men of Order, contributing to a good cause. All right. So today, again, we are doing our Kemedicine pre-show. Even though I didn't make the title that this time. Did I do that for the last one? I gotta start doing that. At least when it is a Kemedicine pre-show. This one, especially when we're doing Dr. Mike, we're analyzing a debate with a doctor. What better to do than make it a Kemedicine pre-show? I mean, we're doing it on Tuesday anyway. Like, why not? Why not? I've been waiting every Tuesday to do this analysis. I could have finished it up any other day, but I waited for today because this is perfect. So we're gonna pick up where we left off here. Give me a sec. You bought kefir milk? It's pretty good. I bought some a couple years ago. I think the only reason I stopped buying it is because I stopped getting my groceries from the store I was getting it at. Yeah, I was actually drinking that. I gotta start getting that again. Thank you for reminding me. shout out to you. like, because I definitely forgot all about that shit. So thank you for bringing that up, reminding me to buy some kefir. Because like I know I honestly I've been drinking more smoothies lately. I got to start making my own again. I've been buying more smoothies again. I've been drinking more kombucha again, and that's one of the things that's I'm kind of in between. I don't know if I should be drinking kefir and kombucha. Like I feel like I should be drinking one or the other. I know I can drink both, but I feel like they kind of do similar things. So like drinking both is kind of like you got to be careful. But I don't know. Anyway, Dr. Mike versus 20 RFK supporters. We got to the third claim. High Intensity Health did a video about it a year ago. I like to try to make kefir at home. So yeah, that would be dope. But I don't know how to go through the process of making that. I don't know. That might be a little complicated. It is ideal to be able to make stuff on your own though. Like when I can, I'm probably gonna start making my kombucha at home more too. But I don't know, some of the way these certain companies like package it and they make it, the stuff I've been buying is in like, it's like in this glass bottle, it's got this slight little carbonation to it. I'm not sure if I'd be able to replicate something like that though. But so like certain stuff, you like it the way you like it, and then when you make it yourself, it's not the same. So it's like, if I do it, I want to figure out how to do it like them, you know what I mean? So I can remake what I like. Is it just 2 ingredients? Okay. That'd be easy. All right. But yeah, so we got to the third claim here. It's been taking us a while because we've been analyzing everything kind of like fact checking Jubilee's fact checks and checking out what each person says and like see if it actually is, up to snuff. Whether Dr. Mike is correct in what he's saying or not. So, we may or may not finish this up today because of that. But I've had fun doing this so far. So doing a part 5, I wouldn't be upset with doing a part 5. But let's try to finish at least the third claim this time, right? So his claim, we'll let him say it again, but I believe that he said it's that Maha like doesn't really care about health or something like that. We'll let him repeat it and then we'll finish this up. Let me make sure the audio's good. Oh yeah, and oh shit. Let's see here. Let me do this. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, hold on. That's there we go. So I gotta make sure I do this. Especially that one, but more specifically, I gotta make sure I have. Is it okay? Here we go. Gotta make sure I have my little window up and open because they like to find. Yeah, I'm here to fact checkers. Look at me. I am the fact checker now.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
But yeah, YouTube likes to flag these videos, so we're gonna keep a window up here for the sake of YouTube page. We're gonna keep an archive up there because Kick deletes everything. So really, the only reason I'm even like streaming on YouTube, the only reason we're even live on YouTube, the only reason we even need an archive is because Kick deletes everything. And now they're deleting everything every 7 days because they reset the whole verification thing or whatever, I'm gonna need y'all to send in some gifted subs. I'm gonna need y'all to send some people in here. Help me get some more followers, man. Tell your friends. Share the link. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need all of y'all to get out there and do your work. Everything got reset. I gotta hit all these new goals again and shit. I'm like, I still gotta figure out I know how to do it, but it's annoying to try to set up the screen again. I gotta get these like follower and subscriber goals up on the screen and shit so y'all can see it. But I'm just letting y'all know until I set it up, just so you know, this is the thing. All right. Like without showing you my Kick page, verification page and all that, that's what's going on. All right. I gotta meet all these goals again. I gotta get more followers, subscribers. I gotta get gifted subs, all that stuff. So if you hear me saying it, you hear me repeat myself about it, it's Kick's fault. God damn it. I ain't like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Okay. It's how the game works.
Yes, thank you. My final surrounded claim is that Maha leadership cares less about health and more about money, power, and...
So he says Maha leadership cares less about health and more about money, power, and politics. Damn, I'm surprised Goldstein's space is still going. Like, see, normally I start after the spaces ended. But I tried to get a little head start today. I thought it was gonna be ended. I'm like, they're still going. I'm still. If you're wondering what I'm doing, why I haven't started yet, I'm listening to these guys in my other ear. I'm gonna have to try to cut it off because I got to do the show. But I'm sitting here listening to Goldstein and stuff. I'm like, damn, they still going. No, I a couple other people in the chat with you. I don't know where they went. They might still be listening. They might have thought the space ended too. But yeah, so Maha leadership cares less about health and more about money, power, and politics. Now, like the thing is, I don't necessarily disagree with this claim. I mean, like this claim could be exactly correct. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like this claim could be exactly correct. I'm sure he could argue this claim very easily. Like I wouldn't even this isn't even something I would push back on, generally speaking, like in a debate. I would say, why does that matter, right? Because generally speaking, right, or literally speaking, like money, power, and politics, these things are going to have a lot to do with health. Yeah, it's thank you, Jeremiah. You said you knocked it out of the park. It is absolutely possible to care about all of those things at the same time. And even if, right, even if they care more about money, power, and politics, so what? Is that a problem? Is that a bad thing? Like, that's the realm that they live in. Like, let's just be honest here, right? Trump was a businessman, right? He has to worry about money. So fact check, that's one of the main things he has to be concerned about, right? And he's running the business, so he definitely has to be concerned about it because, you know, CEO, owner, whatever, you have an obligation to stakeholders, yada yada, blah blah, right? You also, power is your game, right? You're in charge of a business. You hold the power. You are used to having the power. But also, once you shift into politics, politics is now also your business. Politics is also heavily reliant on money. Money is very important in politics. Power is very important in politics. So now all of this shit is your business. Money, power, and politics, that is all your business. That's how you make your money. That's what you were elected for. And those all have to do with health as well, right? Health is not removed from money, power, and politics. In fact, there's probably more money, power, and politics in the field of health than there are in a lot of other areas because it's an area of science. It has to do with people's well-being. So it's very closely tied to politics. And people up at the top can make a lot of decisions that affect a lot of people. So power is very prevalent there too as well. Again, why does this matter? Is that a bad thing? And why is what he's really going to have to defend it? Because he can defend the claim all he wants to. I think the real challenge for the people debating against it, the real challenge is for the people debating against him to not push back against the claim, to grant the claim and ask him, okay, what the fuck is wrong with that? And how is that not also intertwined with health? Because nobody ever argued, like, because you're saying Maha leadership, it's like nobody ever argued that they might care more about this other stuff than health. That doesn't mean that they don't care about health. It doesn't mean that that isn't the main reason that they care more about those other things. Because the thing is, they might care more about those other things than health, but the reason that they care about those other things might be because of health. And at the end of the day, they might know that those things are what they need in order to make people's health better. And it happens to just outweigh how much they really care about health. Maybe that's not ideal, right? Maybe you'd want them to only care about health or to care more about health in their pursuit of all of these things. But even if it's even a motivation or a part of it, I'd say you've got to win here. Because a lot of people who care about money, power, and politics don't give a fuck about health. At least not the health of other people.
And politics.
Hey, Doctor.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing?
Nice to see you.
You said Maha has done the most about health, even if it's in fourth place. Yeah.
Good to meet you. So I want to hear what your proof for your claim is.
Yeah, so I think if you care about health, you would put investment into research, into finding cures, as we talked about earlier. You look into systemic ways to get the biggest bang for your buck in terms of improving people's lives. I think the Maha movement has said a lot of those things to get PR wins, but hasn't actually executed any of them. Instead, what has happened is we've seen a tremendous cut in these budgets that have been reserved for improving our health.
Which, by the way, wasn't RFK who did that. That was the Department of Government Efficiency who did that. So that wasn't even him. They did that.
Oh, well, that's true because they're technically supposed to be arguing about RFK, but his claim is about Maha leadership. If he includes Elon in there or Doge, then technically that doesn't matter. But if we're being strict here, then Maha leadership would essentially be RFK, but you can include them in there too. Like, I wouldn't be mad if he said that, no, I don't just mean RFK, I mean all of them. I mean the entire administration.
At the beginning of the year.
He's in charge of Health and Human Services, which is
Correct.
responsible for NIH, FDA,
And Doge was in
and
charge
CDC.
of cutting all federal agencies, and they were the one who made the
Right.
cuts. So like,
I agree with you.
Right.
Where was RFK on
Right.
television talking about how terrible that is?
he wasn't.
That was a good question from Dr. Mike. I'm gonna get that to Dr. Mike. That was a good question. That was a good question.
Somebody gonna have to tell the
Gotta
truth.
call
and I'm
balls
gonna
and
tell
strikes, right? Because if RFK wasn't against it, then I mean, we could essentially assume that he was for it, right?
Wasn't anywhere because a large
It's not necessarily, but it is an implication you can make. Because they're working in the same administration, you would think that before he does this, Elon gets, his opinion on it, right?
portion of that funding wasn't necessarily going.
You said to wonder if the doctor has any knowledge about the sugar industry back in the day. He probably does. He actually, I don't know if you saw any of the other parts of this analysis. He's been pretty open about his issues with other stuff. And I think his main issue with RFK is just some of the stuff he's doing. I don't think he even is against what he supports in principle.
To what we thought it was going to. For example,
Let's say yes.
Okay.
Let's say that's the case. You don't even need to prove it.
okay.
Did he redirect that funding to something better?
No,
he
because
just cut it.
yeah, right.
But
because,
don't we need to invest more into
because
improving
I'll
people's
tell you
lives?
why. Because we have so many conflicts of interest in the government, which I think you would agree, right?
Sure.
Part of your claim, and I think you made this earlier, was that RFK actually is he doesn't have to report where his funding comes from, which is not true.
Right.
Because the head of the HHS, the CDC, the NIH, they all
Right.
any head of any federal government agency always has to report any of their financial backings, right? So they do have to.
Yeah. Okay. Let's double check that. Do the heads of any federal agency have to provide information on, I don't know why I'm typing it out this long, but oh well. Their financial, I could have made this a lot shorter. I'm also not spelling these words correctly, but I'm trying to do it fast, so I didn't even mean to go to AI mode, but whatever, we'll see. It says, yes, the heads of federal agencies and other high-ranking government officials are legally required to disclose detailed information about their personal finances and outside financial interests. I just granted him that earlier because I know Dr. Mike said that earlier sometime in this, I think, and I just kind of granted it to him that even if they weren't, I'm like, well, he's nominated, isn't he? But also, they have to go through a Senate confirmation hearing. So I think I pushed back on that claim back then, not necessarily because I knew about this, but because I knew that whenever the president, he nominates one of these people, I'm pretty sure that's how it works, right? He nominates them for the role of the cabinet member or whatever, or appoints them for as a cabinet member. Before the appointment is confirmed, they have to go through the Senate confirmation hearing, and they go through all of that stuff as well. So let's ask the AI, is or what about the head of, oh wait, what's his secretary name? Is he the Secretary of Health and Human Services? Is that what it is? I don't pay too much attention to this shit anymore. So half of this stuff I've forgotten. It's not that I don't know this stuff. It's just that because I haven't been paying too much attention to politics lately and just been actually studying other shit, medical shit, medicine stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
I'm not sitting here focused on politics. So a lot of the stuff that I even knew is just kind of getting pushed out of my head by all this other knowledge. let's just say Secretary of Health. I don't think I need to finish it for them to know who I'm talking about. So I'm pretty sure I already know this, but I want to confirm. President nominates the candidate and it goes to the confirmation. Yeah. So as of February 2026, the Secretary of Health and Human Services, I already know that. Like all heads of federal agencies, the Secretary of Health is strictly required by law to disclose their financial interests to prevent conflicts of interest. Specific requirements for the Secretary of Health. The Secretary must file an OGE form 278E. I have no idea what the fuck that is. Oh, it says Public Financial Disclosure Report. Okay, there you go. In addition to standard federal requirements, HHS officials must sometimes provide supplemental reports, such as HHS 7171. I have no idea what that is, which tracks financial interests in substantially affected organizations like pharmaceutical or medical device companies. Okay. Substantially affected organ. I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Under the Stock Act, the Secretary must report any significant stock transactions within 30 to 40 days of the trade. Okay. These financial disclosure reports are made available to the public. You can typically find or request them through the Office of Government Ethics and Open Government. So one of the things I wanted to see specifically is what about donations? And is this information reviewed for Senate confirmation? Because because if they take this stuff into account for Senate confirmation, then it's kind of funny for someone like this guy to be questioning, like, okay, so if he was really so dangerous, why did the senators, confirm him? Now they probably say it's because they had a conservative majority, right? Was there even anybody who wasn't going to confirm him if they have a majority? Is there a way for him to not get confirmed if, except for the conservatives not confirming? Because if they have a majority, wouldn't he get confirmed anyway? Yes, information regarding political donations and personal finances is a critical component of Senate confirmation process for federal agency heads. Yeah, so like I said earlier, right, confirming what this guy just said. And I know we're just asking the Google demons, but it's like it doesn't just pull this shit out of nowhere. Like it's pulling from other sources, and we could pull up probably one of these links that tell us the same thing, but we're not trying to be here all day. Okay. But yeah, at the end of the day, it looks like they already know what RFK's conflicts of interest are. So
they do have to report that. But if you look at one of the things that people were very upset about, for example, how the NIAC board, right? You're familiar with that, where he cut
No, tell me about that.
So he cut, I believe, a lot of the members of the board there. And
the ACIP.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
The Advisory Committee for Immunization.
Exactly.
Practices.
Yeah. 70 to 80% of that board was not reporting enough of where their financial backing was coming from. So a lot of the backing.
Oh shit! Hold up. All right, now we're gonna have to take a look at this. Hold on, we gotta move this on. The U.S. Schaefer Center found that 6.2% of ACIP members had any disclosed conflicts of interest. 6.2%. Not 70 to 80%. The study also showed that direct financial ties to vaccine manufacturers have been virtually eliminated, contradicting claims of widespread undisclosed backing. So was that to fact check Dr. Mike? Hold on.
Committee for Immunization.
Exactly.
Practices.
Yeah. Board there. And
the ACIP.
So he cut, I believe, a lot of the members of the board there. And
the ACIP.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Advisory Committee for Immunization.
Exactly.
Practices.
Yeah. 70 to 80% of that board was not reporting enough of where their financial backing was coming from. So a lot.
Oh, so they were fact checking him. They said 70 to 80% of that board were not disclosing or were not reporting where their financial backing was coming from. The USC Schaefer Report Center. So I'm trying to check what this fact check is saying. found that 6.2% of ACIP members had any disclosed conflicts of interest. So it found that 6.2% of the members had any disclosed conflicts of interest. What he just said was that they found that like 70 to 80% hadn't disclosed enough.
A lot of the was not
Advisory Committee for Immunization.
exactly.
Practices.
Yeah, 70 to 80% of that board was not reporting enough of where their financial backing
So he said 70 to 80% of that board was not reporting enough.
was coming from. So a lot of the backing that they're doing in those in that research isn't firstly necessarily going to where you think it's going. What makes you think that they care so much about money, power, and politics when?
How do you know that though? Like this is what I'm not entirely. I don't know if I disagree with him or not, but I'm just not sure if he has the information to back up that claim.
No,
He
because
just cut it.
yeah, right.
But
because,
don't we need to invest more into
because
improving
I'll
people's
tell you
lives?
why. Because we have so many conflicts of interest in the government, which I think you would agree, right?
Sure.
Part of your claim, and I think you made this earlier, was that RFK actually is like he doesn't have to report where his funding comes from, which is not true because the head of the HHS, CDC, the NIH, they all any head of any federal government agency always has to report any of their financial backings.
We got to speed this
so
up.
they do have to report that. But if you look at one of the things that people were very upset about, for example, how the NIAC board, right? You're familiar with that, where he cut
No,
like.
tell me about that.
So he cut, I believe, a lot of the members of the board there. And
Oh, the
everybody was-
ACIP.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
The Advisory Committee for Immunization.
Exactly. Yeah. 70 to 80% of that board was not reporting enough of where their financial backing was coming from. So a lot of the
So they weren't reporting enough of where their financial backing was coming from. So how do we know that?
backing that they're doing in those in that research isn't firstly necessarily going to where you think it's going. What makes you think that they care so much about money, power, and politics when he's not making any money from it? He's clearly being demonized by the media, and they haven't even put any regulations in place. The only thing that RFK has done in the 8 months that he's been in office is the food bag regulation. Everything else has just been a recommendation. There's been no regulations that have been passed by the HHS.
Did you see the first Maha report?
Is that true? Has HHS has any regulations? Wait a minute. Also, I had a bit of a problem with what this guy just said before we search that.
That he put out?
I did not know. This is politics when he's not making any money from it. He's clearly being demonized by the media, and they haven't even put any regulations in place. The only thing that RFK has done in the 8 months that he's been in office.
So his argument is,
Care so much about money,
before we get bogged down in all of the other stuff he said, right?
power, and politics when he's not making any money from it. He's clearly being demonized by the media, and they haven't even put any regulations in place. The only thing that RFK has done in the 8 months that he's been in office is the food bag regulation. Everything else has just been a recommendation. There's been no regulations that have been passed by the HHS.
So he's saying that they didn't put any regulations in power. So are you saying he doesn't really care about the power? So he's saying he's not making any money from it. Just because he's being demonized by it doesn't mean he doesn't care about the politics. That doesn't really mean it. That doesn't really mean that he doesn't care more about politics. And again, what we're analyzing is the claim that he made, right? The claim that he made could be true. Now, Dr. Mike still has the burden of proof here. But like I said, the biggest challenge for them is going to be questioning, like, is that even really a bad thing? Like, you don't even really have to argue against the fact that it's true. But if you're going to, you got to have a good argument for it. And I don't know if, quote unquote, well, he's not making any money off it. It's like, okay, so how do you know that? He's not making any money off of it. They're demonizing him. And it's like, well, a lot of politicians get demonized. Doesn't really mean they don't care about money, power, or politics, though, right? Like, so I'm wondering, like, is that all he has? Is that it?
He's been in office is the food bag regulation. Everything else has just been a recommendation.
And he hasn't put any regulations in really yet. It's like we're only in the first year. It's like, it's like we just hit the second year.
There's been no regulations that have been passed by the HHS.
Did you see the first Maha report that he put out?
So, like, no, he said that there's been no regulations that have been passed by HHS. Now, I just kind of want to fact check that claim real quick. Oh, I, um, the beginning of the new administration. At the beginning of the new administration on January 20, 2025, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has primarily focused on pausing and reviewing and reversing Biden-era regulations rather than passing substantial new long-term policy regulations. So, does that count as a regulation to freeze regulation? The regulatory freeze, key policy shifts and reversals, withdrawal from the World Health Organization, data and information removal, gender affirming healthcare restrictions, Mexico's policy reimplementation, Mexico City policy reimplementation, efforts to restrict federal funds to international organizations involved in abortion services were initiated. Interesting. Child care policy reversal moves to roll back Biden arrows. Yeah, so apparently the majority of what they're doing is freezing and reviewing and trying to get rid of Biden's regulations. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I guess he's basically right about that, you know.
Somebody's gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
I did not know. Oh, it was in September, right?
No, it was earlier in the year, but it was a big report. He said, look, we're trying to make children healthier. And there were some valuable things. They were focusing on lifestyle changes. That's cool. 7 sources, fully made up, about research that was never done. When it reached out to the authors, that they listed their reasoning for why they were making certain.
About 7 wait, hold up, what?
Said, look, we're trying to make children healthier. And there were some valuable things. They were focusing on lifestyle changes.
There's been no regulations that have been passed by the HHS.
Did you see the first MAHA report that he put out?
I did not know. Oh, it was in September, right?
No, it was earlier in the year, but it was a big report. He said, look, we're trying to make children healthier. And there were some valuable things. They were focusing on lifestyle changes. That's cool. 7 sources, fully made up, about research that was never done. When it reached out to the authors, that they listed their.
So, hold up. Let's see what Jubilee's fact check says and see if this is true. Like, the Make America Healthy Again report cited fake studies and contained inaccurate summaries of others. Who determines that they're inaccurate summaries? Who determines that? I'm just asking questions. The White House admitted there were errors, but said it did not negate the substance. What errors? Other experts said the report should not be used for policymaking. All right, so that was an L for Jubilee. That's not much of a fact check right there. What fake studies? They didn't say like how we know they're fake studies. It just says, oh, the report cited fake studies and contained inaccurate summaries of others. The White House said that they admitted there were some errors, but they said it didn't negate the substance of it. So yeah, like there might have been some errors. Y'all might have been blowing them up out of proportion and it could be completely fine, but all you're just telling us is all these supposed bad things about it. You're not telling us like what it actually was, what it cited, how we know it's fake. Like this is why I know they probably don't have that much room to do all of that, but they could have tried. They could have like put some kind of link there, referred to whatever studies they were. Like now we got to look them up because we going to do this anyway. Oh God. Like, so we not about to just let them get away with that shit. Like we got to go check this out now. So, let's see here. And obviously when I type this in, I'm going to try to see if we can find the report and see what it was citing. I don't remember any of these reports. I don't think I saw any of these reports. I wasn't really paying too much to like the RFK shit. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people were just screaming about the bullshit. I was just watching Kemedicine, you know what I'm saying? What up, Ventura? Glad to see you here. So, did the Maha report cite fake studies. That's the main thing I care about. The inaccurate summaries, I'm like, you can say that, but we don't really know that. I'm not going to read it right now because that's a little much. But yes, reports from Notice, the New York Times, the Washington Post, and others confirmed that Make America Healthy Again report released May 2025 by Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s commission included citations for studies that do not exist alongside other fabricated or misrepresented references. All right, so key findings on fake studies. Investigations identified at least 7 major citations that refer to papers, journals, or data that just simply did not exist. Falsely attributed authors. In some cases, researchers were listed as authors of studies they never wrote. So what the fuck was this nigga RFK using AI or something? Like AI hallucinations? Oh shit, it says right here, yes. Experts noted that the citations had hallmarks of AI generated content, specifically ChatGPT. Damn, RFK was out here using ChatGPT to make the studies? This is not looking good. How did I not hear about this? Such as realistic sounding titles. Right. I mean, is AI the only ones that can come up with realistic sounding titles for a paper? Correct formats and fake. Correct formats. That's a hallmark of AI generated content is correct form. Where are we in the world if correctly formatted stuff is like, oh, that's a hallmark of AI generated content? Like we know humans can't generate their content in correct format.
Somebody gonna have to tell
They
the
always
truth, and
need
I'm
someone
gonna
to
tell
edit it for them. It's just I just think this is funny. This is just silly to me. Like what the fuck? These are the hallmarks of AI generated content, apparently. Like just even slightly being done correctly, I guess. And fake digital object identifiers that lead to error pages. All right, now that sounds like AI. Now that one,
have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
like fake links that don't even take you to a site. No, yeah, that sounds like AI right there. The Washington Post found markers like always site in the footnotes, which are linked to OpenAI. Oh, damn. They found markers in it too. Like, oh my God. This is not looking good. Now, I need to see this report. Let's see. Can we find it? Do they have it on like Wikipedia? Does anybody have a link to that shit? If anybody can find that shit, let me know. I don't feel like looking for it right now, but if anybody can find that supposed Maha report, oh wait, is this it right here? Hold up. They do have it. I had a feeling they probably had a link to it on the Wikipedia page. Like it wouldn't make sense for them not to. What was the shit that was made up? Where is that? All right, hold up. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see if we can find some of the they found 37 footnotes that contain the marker OAI site, whatever the fuck. I don't even know. Like, is that even something you would actually be able to pronounce? All right, here, let's see. Let's see. Is it? Can we find it on here? It's not popping up for me. Hold on. Nope. That marker is not popping up for me. Where do you find the marker? It's not something you it's not something you can search. It said it was a footnote. So they might be talking about the marker in the code or something. Like, I don't know what they would be talking about. Say marker. If it's there, I should be able to find it in the document by searching it. Let's see. I wanted like more specific like examples of like parts of it, like I don't know if I can get the AI to pull it up. I wanted examples of like specific parts of it that they used to identify that it was fake. Cause I want like some specific citations. Cause I don't like, because one of the things I don't like doing is just believing when somebody tells me like, oh, well, that was just AI generated. Those things were just completely made up, and all the people that they said wrote them didn't even actually write them. And it's like I go to look it up and I find out like that all that shit is real. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to sit here and just let them fucking tell me it's fake. I'm going to actually do my research. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody's
Like,
gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
like I'm not about to sit here and just let them tell me what's true. I need to see something here. I need to see something. All right. It says it included non-existent citations for studies on adolescent mental health, asthma treatment. Yeah, but where? Where can I see? Because it just keep telling me that. Where can I find those citations in the document? Like, I have the document in front of me now. I'm just trying to be thorough, right? Where are those fucking citations? Oh shit. There was one thing I did not do when I started this one. Let's see here. Check this. Yeah, let's do that. Do that. Update that. And there we go. Do that. Do that. All right. That too. All right. That's updated. All right. We're good. All right. The non-existent citations were found in the footnotes of the original 73 page. No fucking shit. They ain't telling me what I already know. What's wrong with these niggas, man? Are we serious right now? To remove the blah blah blah. Which the White House updated on May 29th, 2025 to remove the unverified studies. So like, am I not going to be able to find them now? Specific locations included footnotes on the pages 7, 5, 7, 25, 26, and 34. Footnotes on page 7, 25, 26, and 34. But so if they removed it from the report, then we can't see what they supposedly put in here that wasn't true. So like they supposedly made some shit up and it's gone now, so we can't see it. I ain't gonna lie, this is Orwellian.
Somebody's
like,
gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Because if they put out the first one, like, is this the first one? Because this was what was on the Wikipedia page, so I'm gonna assume this is the first one. This is page 7 right here, right? I'm looking at page 7 right here. I didn't even know it, but I'm already on page 7 right here, right? So we need to like zoom in on this bitch. Need to zoomity zoom. Zoomity boom boom. All right. Hold on. All right. I don't know how easy this would be for y'all to see. Trying to make it like visible. But I mean, you can look it up yourself. I can see you the document. Y'all probably know more about this than me. I ain't gonna lie. But so they have these little papers cited at the bottom. Health system tracker. How does the quality of U.S. health system compare to other countries? So what was this? Specific locations included footnotes on pages 7, 25, and 26. So, I mean, from what I'm seeing here, this one links to an actual place. But again, I don't know if we're looking at the one that they updated. I just know that was what was on the bottom of page 7. They said they have footnotes on each of these pages that were like incorrect shit, I guess. So that was one link. There are a couple. It's gonna make me zoom in again. Damn it. Let me open it. I'm gonna open this in another window next time. Okay. That was our first link. That one took us somewhere. All right, so this is the second link. U.S. healthcare from a global perspective. I don't know. It's fucking upwards today. 2019, higher spending, worse outcomes. This sends us to another link that works. We're probably not going to go through all of these. I just think that it's interesting that they're telling you this stuff. And when I go to this report, I don't know if like on Wikipedia they have the updated one, or maybe they're talking about this study here that doesn't have a link. Let's see. Let's search this shit. Prevalence and trends in pediatric onset chronic conditions. That is an actual source. Does this one have a link? This one has a link. So the next one has a link already. Another link that works. So I mean, this is just from the stuff they said what was on page 7, but they said at page 7 has specific locations included in footnotes on page 7 right here, right? Fabricated or misattributed studies on adolescent mental health. So they might be including page 7 on misattributed studies, but like we don't have time to go through all of this right now, obviously. But hey, if you are a defender of RFK, probably something to look into. You know what I mean? Like, is this defensible? Is it defensible? That's the question. And I don't know enough about it so far to say for sure. But apparently if they put out another one and they like they fixed it, maybe they made some issues, maybe they fixed it after that. But apparently they put out a new one and they removed those. So it could have been an honest mistake. But still a mistake nonetheless.
Their reasoning for why they were making certain recommendations. I guarantee you, those sources were fully made up.
Okay.
People reached out to the participants' names that were listed as authors, and they quote unquote said, "We never did that research. It does not exist."
Okay, what was in the report?
I mean, the report is dozens of pages long.
But
But
what was it about?
about children's
Did it
health
publish
care.
any regulation? Was it just regulation?
No, the report was basically like a State of the Union report about what's happening with children's health. But isn't it frustrating or scary that
Yeah, and to be fair, right? In response to what he said about like, the regulations and all that stuff, that technically means nothing. Like, even though we went and looked into that and everything, that didn't really respond to his argument, to be fair.
reasons why they're putting in certain recommendations in the report come from research that fully doesn't exist. And I'll tell you my theory about it, and I can't prove it.
Okay, go ahead.
That they use.
Okay, so he's saying that the reason that they can't do regulations is because, like, they were basing a lot of the shit they were saying on shit that didn't exist. So they can only make recommendations because nobody would allow them to make regulations based on that information. Is that what he's saying? I think that's, if we were to try to still man Dr. Mike's point, that's what he's arguing.
AI to make those sources, and AI hallucinated those sources, which I've seen happen when I ask AI questions.
And the AI does hallucinate sources, and that's, AI also will just take shit that people says for fact too. That's one of the reasons we double checked this. Because at the end of the day, even when the AI says it, right, and then I go and find it, the first place where they tell me their non-existent stuff or misattributed stuff, I can find basically everything here. And now the question is it really misattributed? Right? Because the AI can tell me, oh, well, these are misattributed to the studies. They extrapolated and inferred from things that the people in the study didn't necessarily say. It's like, well, they're allowed to do that. So you saying it's misattributed doesn't necessarily mean that it is, which is why I prefer for people to actually show how it is when they say that. Otherwise, you got to go and do all that stuff yourself, right? You got to go do all that looking and shit yourself. This is why we always say the burden of proof is on the one making the claim. If you're going to say it, then back it up. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. Because don't sit here and make me do all this research for some shit that you're going to say, and I'm just supposed to take your word on it? Like, no. Like, I'm either not going to believe you, or I'm going to do some research and confirm it. But typically, default is I'm gonna just hand wave it away. Like, if you ain't got nothing to offer me, no evidence to offer me, why should I accept it? Right? There's a quote. It goes something like, what can be asserted without evidence can be just as easily dismissed without evidence.
Somebody's gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Like, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. But what is asserted without evidence can easily be dismissed without evidence.
Okay.
So to me, I think it's really scary.
Are you talking about the report that talked about, like,
It's the Maha landmark
one in
report that they
30 children
celebrated.
have autism? Because that's true.
I'm not arguing about individual claims.
Well, let's talk about that for a second.
Sure. I think more kids than ever before have been diagnosed with autism.
Okay,
I agree.
why is that? If so, let me just ask you this. Do you think that America is the most unhealthy nation in the world?
No.
Are they talking about autism? How do we get to autism? that moves really fast. I know why, but I just feel like they just switch really fast and start talking about autism.
I think it's really scary.
Are you talking about the report that talked about, like,
It's the Maha landmark
one in
report that
30
they
children
celebrated.
have autism? Because that's true.
I'm not arguing about individual claims.
Well, let's talk about that for a second.
Sure. I think more kids than ever before have been diagnosed with autism.
Okay,
I agree.
Yeah, so he said he's not arguing about individual claims.
Why is that? If so, let me just ask you this. Do you think that America is the most unhealthy nation in the world?
No.
Okay, that's...
Yeah, in the world? I'm sure there's probably a nation more unhealthy than us. There's probably multiple nations more unhealthy than us. Like, what do you mean by healthy?
The
Why?
world?
Or
Yeah,
unhealthy?
we spend the most on
because
healthcare, we're
there's
most unhealthy,
countries
the
that
most
are,
highest rates
you
of
mean
chronic
from,
disease.
in terms, you're comparing it probably to industrialized countries or like very wealthy
yes.
nations.
Right, yeah, you're comparing it to, like, first world countries, basically.
But in the world,
We
I
have the
would
highest
say
rates of
no.
chronic disease, would you say that?
I think we're up there. Look, who cares about absolutes?
I mean, we also are a country that has the ability to measure that kind of stuff,
We're up there. We're not doing great.
Right.
Health-wise, we're
Like, is it because in the countries where they can't measure the amount of, like, people dealing with chronic disease, as I'm sure they're still dealing with chronic disease. I'm sure some other country is documenting how many of them have chronic disease, but, like, a lot of those countries, like, if they don't even have the means to assess how many people have that stuff, how are they going to be able to do anything about it? Yes, there are a lot of countries that are probably more unhealthy than us because they don't even have the healthcare system we have. But, people would debate about, like whether certain people here that we would say are healthy are even really healthy compared to them.
terrible.
Okay.
In fact, a lot of the capitalistic stuff that got us so unhealthy, all this ultra-processed foods, we're now exporting to other countries and getting them sick, and they're catching up.
Yeah, and I think that that's
Exactly.
a problem. Why are you opposing the first figure in 60 years who said that that's a problem?
Well,
so, hold on.
I'll answer your question.
Okay, go ahead.
This is good. Yeah.
The first Surgeon General report to highlight links between diet and disease was released in 1968. A major follow-up report focused on obesity came in 2001. That says 1988. Sorry, I was going to say Yeah, the first Surgeon General report to highlight links between diet and disease was released in 1988. I was like, 1968 is a long time ago. I was like, what? It took almost 40 years for another one? Never mind. That's 1988. A major follow-up report focused on obesity came in 2001. That's still kind of a long time after, but maybe they needed time to do a study, I guess. We'll give them a little leniency, I guess.
Yeah, because I don't think he is. And I don't think he's actually doing anything to oppose it because he's sitting at Steak and Shake and telling people about McDonald's, how they used to fry their fries in beef tallow, and it was so much better. And then answering your...
I mean, like, just because he's doing, you can call him a hypocrite all you want to. Just because he's doing that doesn't mean he's not doing anything.
Question even further. Michelle Obama tried to get kids to have healthy lunches at school. And again, not partisan here because Secretary Kennedy used to be a Democrat also. Michelle Obama had a program for kids to move after
those
school.
lunches have like seed oils in them? Because the whole point he went
Let me
to
just finish
the fast food restaurant.
Let me finish the
He
point.
used to be a Democrat. I'm pretty sure. Isn't he still a Democrat? Like, I'm not one of those people that's like, just because you start working with somebody from the other party or you're all of a sudden more in line with another party because one party is slightly shifted, like you're all of a sudden a member. But I don't think he's a fucking Republican now. He's still a Democrat.
Their seed oils or beef tallow, it doesn't matter. It's still junk food. Michelle Obama tried to get kids to have healthier lunches, and she tried to get them to exercise. You know what people called her on the right? Food police. They hated it. They despised it. Michael Bloomberg in New York tried to put a soda tax on
I'm not here
the
defending the Republican Party.
But the issue is he's part of the...
Did they call Michelle Obama the food police? I'm probably old enough to remember that, but I don't because like I just wasn't paying attention to politics.
Somebody's gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
I'm sorry, I really most of my life I have not given a fuck about politics. I'm not gonna lie.
The Republican Party that's driving these issues. But he's not. He's part of the administration.
Sorry, even voted out.
And I used to watch political shows all the time. I used to watch the Daily Show all the time.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I used to watch the Colbert Report or Stephen Colbert. I used to watch this shit all the time. Still never gave a fuck about politics. I watched it for the comedy. It just so happened that politics is funny, you know? You know what I'm saying?
Hello, hello. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you. Okay, this is something
Yeah, that back and forth I actually didn't enjoy that much. But there was a lot to look into from it, so thanks for that.
personally know a little bit about because I joined the campaign to
cool.
see for myself if RFK was crazy.
Okay.
And
Did you think that initially?
No.
Oh.
I listened to some of his podcasts, read his like memoir on his family, and I was like, it sounds like this guy cares about people.
I actually would probably not disagree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, good intentions can have terrible outcomes. So.
Wait, what? Yeah, see, this is the thing. I don't think he dislikes RFK necessarily, because this is why he said it's not partisan, because he used to be a Democrat, right?
Think that
Which is fair enough.
No.
Oh.
I listened to some of his podcasts, read his like memoir on his family, and I was like, it sounds like this guy cares about people.
I actually would probably not disagree with that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, he said he doesn't disagree with that.
good intentions can have terrible outcomes. So.
Right. And I do have like I was specifically like following his vice president, Nicole Shanahan, like around the country for 8 months. She had put together this think tank
Right.
to figure out how to like fix climate change. That basically came back, said all green energy is bunk. There's one thing that we could do to.
What? So let's see. What does it say here? Top agricultural scientists wrote that there is no single solution to removing greenhouse gases from the atmosphere, but regenerative agriculture has the potential to reduce CO2 by 5 to 10%. I mean, that makes sense. But what was this guy talking about?
Together this think tank to figure out how to like fix climate change. That basically came back, said all green
Okay.
energy is bunk. There's one thing that we could do to become carbon neutral, and
The all green energy is bunk. Okay. I don't know what that means, because I'm inclined to disagree. Like I get the sentiment, but like technically I disagree.
that's regenerative farming. But we'd have to switch over 200,000 acres, I think, of farmland. We either have to be able to explain why we're doing everything, otherwise we're going to end up in the situation that I think we are now. Tylenol, to me, was the antithesis of everything I had been trying to do. And whatever, I'm not there doing it, so like I don't represent them. But that was a disaster because we're here now fighting more.
Wait, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, I feel like this nigga is like jumping back and forth between different topics. Like, I am confusion right now.
Instead of working together.
Do you think we're fighting?
Me and you?
Yeah.
No, but I do think that MAHA and the traditional medical world, there is a lot of misunderstanding, and it's not good for anybody.
What is the misunderstanding?
I mean, I think
Sure.
the skepticism with doctors that began with COVID. And I don't think RFK is in HHS without COVID. I think that there's been a disaster that
That's true. That's true. Fact. Shout out to him. That's probably one of the best points anybody's made this entire time.
is just kept going, and somehow we need to come together and make sense of this.
Well, I'm hoping today that could be
We're going to solve the whole
Well,
thing.
no, I think by having these conversations with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, I'm just yeah, they're gonna solve it all here, guys.
Because, look, okay, Secretary Kennedy got Skittles, I believe, to remove titanium dioxide, a random chemical outside of Skittles.
Yeah.
But like, let's be as genuine and honest as possible today.
All right.
Is that
Titanium dioxide was in Skittles. The fuck, Skittles? Does Skittles contain titanium dioxide? The fuck is that? Let's ask the AI demons. So titanium dioxide, that sounds like 2 oxygens in titanium, some shit like that, right? I've been paying attention. The Skittles contains, damn, I typed that in like that. The Skittles contain titanium dioxide. I didn't spell it. I missed the A. Oh no, I spelled it right. What did I do? Didn't I? Whatever. No, Skittles sold in the United States no longer. See how it said no longer contains titanium dioxide. Mars Wrigley, the manufacturer of Skittles, confirmed in May 2025 that it had ceased using the additive in its U.S. production. Why were you using that additive anyway? While the Food and Drug Administration continues to classify titanium dioxide as safe within specific limits, the company's decision followed years of pressure from health advocates and the 2022 ban in the European Union. So it's banned in the European Union already. And it took the 2025. So that had to be it ended it in 2024. That had to be because of RFK. You think they just up and did that on their own? The device you got yesterday for your home sleep apnea test is to throw away at them. What, you got sleep apnea? Or you got a sleep apnea test? So all Skittles produced 2025 on titanium dioxide free. Oh well, all the titanium dioxide is gone, I guess. That's a good thing.
the reason why chemical outside is because,
Although apparently it was cool to have it in there in certain amounts, according to the FDA, I guess.
okay,
I don't know. Just I feel like having titanium, anything that says titanium in it inside of my candy or inside of your candy is a bad thing. Like that just sounds like it's correct to me. You know what I mean?
Secretary Kennedy got Skittles, I believe, to remove titanium dioxide, a random chemical outside of Skittles.
Yeah.
But like, let's be as genuine and honest as possible today.
All right.
Is that the reason
I don't know if it was him that did it, to be honest. But if he did, then shout out to him. Shout out to RFK for
why
that.
Skittles is not considered a healthy food for kids?
Are you just doing it to confirm if you got it? Oh well.
Probably not.
So like, I feel their administration is getting all these like random PR wins that aren't actually making America healthy. And I would love for Americans to get healthy, but they're just not doing it. And they're distracting everyone with all of this noise that I feel actually harms people.
I mean, I don't entirely disagree.
I mean, sure, I guess.
It feels, as someone who's trying to like support this, it feels like there's sabotage in the administration.
Okay.
Straight up. I think the solution probably is, okay, HHS is cool for the first time ever, whether we like the guy that became the face of it or not. He's a 7-year-old healthy man who overcame heroin and talks to eagles. Like, that's not the worst thing we could be dealing with.
I think
but
things are cool.
Yeah, but he needs help from the medical industry. He needs help from the pharmaceutical industry because it can't all be bad. There are,
I agree.
I would argue
Because
that-
if someone fainted here today,
You're
we're all calling
helping.
911 or we're yelling for
No,
me to
you're
help.
helping
Yeah,
us.
that's the thing. I
Yes.
don't know if you saw during the GLP-1 press
Okay.
conference,
Yes.
there was an individual, this person fainted. Did you see what
They're not
Secretary
even
Kennedy-
really disagreeing here.
Tell me what he did.
he split out of the room as if.
What do you think I'm going to do if something was to happen to you right now?
Well, you took an oath. You have to help me.
Okay, so why is Secretary Kennedy the
Yes, that's true. He did take a Hippocratic oath. Shout out to him. He's like, nigga, you took an oath.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
It's like, nigga, you saving me. You ain't got no choice, nigga.
one going out and saying I care about profit? Am I going to ask? Okay, I'll tell you even a cooler story that no one even really knows. I was on an airplane last week. I was flying across the Atlantic Ocean to France.
Yes.
I was exhausted. I didn't sleep the night before. The reason I didn't sleep the night before was because I was doing a Make-A-Wish in Disney with a child who was dying of a cancer, who's only buying time because of the miraculous work at one of the Texas medical institutions. After that, I flew back home, only to fly the next day to France. I'm exhausted. They ask, is there a doctor on board?
Wait, what?
Across the Atlantic Ocean to France.
Yes.
I was exhausted. I didn't sleep the night before. The reason I didn't sleep the night before, if something was to happen to you right now.
Well, you took an oath. You have to help me.
Okay, so why is Secretary Kennedy the one going out and saying, I care about profit? Am I going to ask? Okay, I'll tell you even a cooler story that no one even really knows. I was on an airplane last week.
I mean, to be fair, he didn't necessarily say you care about profit specifically, not like you personally. Like just because you're a doctor doesn't mean that you don't care about profit. It doesn't mean you don't care about people. Like the funny thing is that this shit applies to his claim as well. Like this is hilarious. Like the idea that they care about money, power, and politics more than health, but you can't care more about health than money, but still care about money at the end of the day. That's the exact problem that you're having here, right? You don't seem to understand that even if you care about their health, doesn't mean you still care about money. We know you care about money. Everybody cares about money. You're a human, sir. I mean, like, its mind explodes. What a fucking surprise.
I was flying across the Atlantic Ocean to France.
Yes.
I was exhausted. I didn't sleep the night before. The reason I didn't sleep the night before was because I was doing a Make-A-Wish in Disney with a child who was dying of a cancer, who's only buying time because of the miraculous work at one of the Texas medical institutions. After that, I flew back home.
A Make-A-Wish.
Only to fly the next day to France. I'm exhausted. They ask, is there a doctor on board? I'm exhausted, but I care about the patient more. I volunteer. I help one individual. There's a second medical emergency. I help the second individual. There's a third medical emergency. I help that individual. Do I need props for that? Do I need money for that? I couldn't care less. I want to help people. These are the type of people and there's so many of them. It's not me. This is who I work with. The people that are.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, you're also in a very unique position, and this is what I fucking hate.
Somebody's gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
I fucking hate when these people in like these privileged positions who have the ability to like just do their job because they enjoy it. Like he said at the beginning of all of this nigga, he's making money on social media. He's doing all this other stuff. He's making money outside of the medical industry for the most part, right? It might be related to him being a doctor where he knows about all of this stuff so he can educate people about it online or whatever, but you have another source of income. You are not the average doctor who's going into work every day just to get a fucking paycheck, who's signing particular prescriptions so that they can get some money from that fucking company for prescribing that medicine to somebody. You are not that guy. So for you to sit here and act like they're talking about you when you are a very special exception to the rule, it's just so fucking dishonest and irritating. You have to literally be retarded or just dishonest. And the fact that he's a doctor, we can pretty much tell he's probably not retarded. He's probably not dumb. I don't, he could be, like, I mean, for all we know, like he could, I could be wrong here, like, like being a doctor doesn't necessarily mean you're intelligent. Maybe he just memorized some facts or whatever. Maybe he just happens to be a particularly good surgeon. Maybe he's just good with his hands, right? Like, I don't know. But I also think he could just be being dishonest.
Somebody's gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Like, we gotta cut this out.
I surrounded myself with the colleagues. Do they fail at times? Do they make you feel gaslit as a patient? Yes. We suck at that because our system sets us up as doctors for failure. Healthcare spending as an
And then you say this, we suck at that because our system sets us up as doctors for failure. So you're saying that there's something wrong with the system, my guy? Are you basically just agreeing with these motherfuckers now? Like, what are we doing? Like, you basically just gave up the whole, like, that's RFK's entire point. That's the point of the entire movement. It's not anti-doctor, so you just proven that it's not anti-doctor. The problem is that the system doesn't even set you up correctly. But that also means that you guys are somewhat at fault. You admitted it, right? Even if the system isn't set up to help you succeed necessarily, then you're still part of the problem. You just trying to put some of the blame off on the system and try to take some of the blame off yourself. That doesn't mean you're blameless.
all-time high? Absolutely true. Is that because doctors are getting paid more? Absolutely not. It's because administrators have ballooned beyond any reasonable level. Pharmaceutical companies have no transparency. Pharmacy benefit managers who take kickbacks and all sorts of rebates with zero transparency break the system.
Yeah, so you blaming the administrators, the pharmaceutical companies, like
Doctors are getting paid more? Absolutely not. It's because administrators have ballooned beyond any reasonable level. Pharmaceutical companies have no transparency. Pharmacy benefit managers who take kickbacks and all sorts of rebates with zero.
So pharmaceutical companies, administrators, pharmacy benefit managers, like we got three other groups of people he's shifting the blame off to and moving it away from doctors.
Transparency, break the system. And instead of going after those issues,
and he's saying they break the system, and those are the people you should go after. It's never the doctors. The doctors are completely innocent. Oh, it's just doctors just no shame, no blame on us. We're just good people. We just want to help people, man. If you don't get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Every day, more lies.
Like, cut it out. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Secretary Kennedy's calling me a profit monger. Aren't you mad at that?
Yes, I absolutely am, because I care about people.
Right now, you kind of look like a profit monger. I mean, nigga, you on Jubilee. Like, how much they pay you for this shit?
Somebody's gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
like, how do I know you're not making a profit off of this? How many of y'all niggas go on Jubilee for free? Like, let's really talk about it right now. Like, what are you talking
Somebody's
about?
gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
People. And I think that we should be doing a better job. And I think that a big part of what America, there's a hurt that our food systems have been ignored by large corporate power that does run things. And somehow this movement has come out of a place of people being like, there's important things like nutrition that needs picked up. Does it need to get taken over by pig supplements? God, no.
Yep.
We don't want more. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely.
it.
Those two basically just agreed anyway.
Hello, sir.
Good to talk to you.
Pleasure.
Yeah, going off of what the other guy said, you're saying that why is the RFK's industry, why is he attacking you personally, right, as a doctor? And I don't think he's ever called you out, Dr. Mike, you know, what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
I
He just
understand
says all doctors.
Right, but I understand what he's saying is that the fact that there is a profit margin that they're trying to meet in the medical industry. They're merging with government, like the COVID scam, right? And they had people like Dr. Fauci in, which was pushing these mRNA harmful shots into the public through government-mandated vaccines, right?
Well, we had options that weren't mRNA.
Well, no, we did not have an option because
I'm saying there were vaccines that
You
were
did.
not
No,
mRNA.
it was not an option to take whatever shots that was mandated from government because
Right, some of them were not
the country wasn't locked down, right? The country wasn't locked down. We had masks over our faces. We had these media pouring out all these propaganda to us, right? So at the beginning of the pandemic, it was 2020.
You're
saying,
right.
all right, so this is a very dangerous virus that's coming out of Wuhan, China. And like what you were saying about knowledge, informing the public, they did not give us
What was
proper
that?
information about how to treat this virus.
We didn't know.
No,
It was new.
no, wait. No, we did. No, the public didn't know, right?
I didn't know.
Okay, well, maybe you didn't. Okay, so
I mean,
I'm
we did, it
not
was
assuming.
new.
Okay, I'm not assuming you didn't, right? But we didn't know. So the doctors were coming out saying, no, we need zinc, vitamin D, sunlight. People were told to stay indoors.
I agree that was.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was very stupid.
that's true. That's it. That's exactly what was going on.
And being locked in.
The closing of the beaches and all that stuff.
Hydroxychloroquine, right? Hydroxychloroquine. Trump was saying yes, hydroxychloroquine in my work, and people just got on him, attacked him for it. Now we know it works. I've taken it myself. My friends have taken
For
it
what?
myself. The common flu, and it does work, right?
Yeah, hydroxychloroquine. I mean, I don't really know. Apparently, evidence is that it has helped people. Let's see what this Jubilee fact check says. There's no evidence that hydroxychloroquine treats or prevents seasonal flu. Okay. Did anybody say that? Major reviews and clinical guidance shows that hydroxychloroquine has no antiviral benefit against influenza and is not recommended by the CDC, FDA, WHO, or any reputable medical organization for flu treatment. No antiviral benefit against influenza. What if they're not using it for antiviral benefit?
Somebody's gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Like, let's just look up really quick, like for funsies. Fuck it, like for the fuck of it, right? Like, what is hydroxy chloro? Well, yeah, because I'm not. What is hydroxychloroquine used for? Lawyer speak and medical advice is nasty work. I know, man. It's annoying as hell. Because they be real specific about what they be saying, too. Hydroxychloroquine, brand name Plaquenil. Ew, that's a nasty ass name. medication. I don't want no medication with plaque in it. That's crazy. It works by modulating the immune system and killing certain parasites. Main approved uses: systematic lupus, erythematosus. Fuck it. I don't know how to pronounce that shit. Used to treat the most common form of lupus. All right, that makes sense. Rheumatoid arthritis. Okay. Malaria. Okay. Discoid lupus. Okay. So lupus again. Other uses: off-label or specialized. Skin disorder. Porphyria cutaneous. Yeah, I'm not trying to pronounce that. Schwartzman's syndrome. Sometimes used for dry mouth, eye symptoms. Effectiveness varies. Skin and muscle conditions. Yeah, I mean, not for COVID-19. While heavily investigated in 2020, studies found it ineffective for treating COVID-19 and is not recommended for this purpose. And blah, blah. It works slowly. Benefits for arthritis and lupus may take several weeks to months to appear. Huh. Yeah, I mean, it says it's used for like more physical stuff like arthritis, skin conditions. You got joint pain here to reduce pain. Malaria to treat acute attacks and prevent infection. It says it modulates the immune system though, so I mean it seems that it could be effective for I mean several things depending on what it is that you're dealing with. It might not even be needed for COVID directly, but if you have some kind of symptom that can be alleviated with it, that allows you to kick COVID or allows your immune system to kick COVID, then I mean, it can be effective. It's just weird for it to say it has no antiviral benefit against influenza. It's like maybe the benefit it has isn't antiviral. And then it says it treats or prevents a seasonal flu, which again, a very specific thing too, like the seasonal flu. Like, what? He didn't even say he used it for the seasonal flu. He said something about like a cold or something, right? Did he say he used it for the flu?
I would say that.
Now chloroquine, right? Hydroxychloroquine. Trump was saying it's hydroxychloroquine and it might work. And people just got on him, attacked him for it. Now we know it works. I've taken it myself. My friends have taken it myself. The common flu. And it does work, right?
I would say that the evidence says otherwise.
No, it doesn't.
He said he's taking it for the common flu. Okay, so he did say the common flu. And he said it's worked. And it's like, hey, but this is why I think the claim that they make is it's very sneaky because it's very specific, right? There's no evidence that it treats or prevents the seasonal flu. Okay, so well, he didn't say he used it to prevent the flu. He said he's used it on the flu and it helps. Technically that means that he's used it to treat the flu himself, right? They might argue, oh, it's a placebo or something or whatever, right? But even if they use it as like a painkiller or something or whatever, you know, like, I mean, half of like cough medicine, that's all it's really doing, right? It's just suppressing some symptoms. They might throw some acetaminophen in there. So it's got some painkiller in there to take some of the pain away. And then that ultimately helps you get better because now you're able to like, you know, kind of move around because you're not in pain anymore. You don't feel as bad. You're able to eat, do what you need to do to get back in good health again. And that essentially helps you treat it, even if all it did was reduce some pain. So the idea that it can't treat or can't help at all, it seems to be kind of ridiculous, but whatever. See, they live
Basically,
yet?
what I'm saying is the
They
pharmaceutical
live yet
industry,
over there on
people
Kemedicine?
like Anthony Fauci and Dr. Deborah Birx, they're merging with big government in order to do these lockdowns, in order to have government mandates, medical mandates, in order for us to take these. So I don't think you can compare what RFK Jr. is saying along with what the medical industry, what he's going up against is saying.
Okay, pause. You can vote it out.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Oh shit, they voted him out. I mean, I don't think he did too bad of a job. Ultimately, don't think he actually ended up getting as much time as everybody else, though.
Hello, pleasure.
I I kind of still have yet to see Dr. Mike really truly defend his claim. He's more just been pushing back against what they're saying. But as far as substantiating his own claim, he hasn't done much of that.
Can you repeat the claim?
But again, he doesn't really need to. This is a very easy thing to argue. I mean, it just like, again, nobody's asking him like, okay, why would that matter? Like, is that a bad thing?
Just real quick.
We're on claim that the Maha leadership cares less about health and more about money, power, and politics.
So the previous Health and Human Services secretaries, they all cared about health, would you say?
I would say that they.
Oh, interesting. Interesting question. That's interesting. It's still not the right question I think that should be asked, but I think it's somewhere in the realm.
Put a higher emphasis on health, yes.
Okay, do you know our rating in the world for maternal mortality rate, infant mortality,
It's
obesity,
terrible.
type 1 diabetes,
Terrible,
type 2 diabetes?
terrible,
We lead in all developed nations across the world.
terrible.
And for chronic diseases, we're number 1 in the world.
I don't think we're
Non-developed
number
countries,
1 in the world.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
For chronic diseases in a single.
Wait. All right. So according to the Peterson KFF tracker, actually, check here real quick. Hold up. Want to make sure. Are they live on Kemedicine? Kemedicine, they started over there on Kemedicine yet? Double check before we respond to this. Before we check out this fact check here about Jubilee. All right. Looks like they're getting started over there on Kemedicine. So we're going to wrap up here. We'll finish this up next time. We don't have too much left. We don't have too much left at all. But we're going to save this and this fact check from Jubilee until next time. Dr. Mike, sit down. Let's see so we can make sure we know who he's talking to. All right.
Hello.
So
Pleasure.
next time,
Can you repeat the claim just real quick?
We're on claim that the Maha.
we're going to pick up on this conversation with whoever the fuck this guy is. Because they
Hello,
didn't say,
pleasure.
they didn't show his name like they normally show their
can you repeat
name
the
when
claim
they
just
sit
real quick?
down. Where's his
We're on
name
claim
at?
that the Maha.
They didn't show his name. Maybe he sat down already. Oh, well. We'll pick up with this guy. I'm just going to call him Carlos for now. We're just going to call him Carlos. His name is Carlos for now. All right. Wait, can y'all hear them? Y'all hear that shit? No, that's just, sounds like it's just in my ear. All right. We're going to send y'all over to Kemedicine. Thank y'all for joining me for another beautiful logical analysis. We'll be doing this again next Tuesday. We're going to wait. We're going to finish it next time. But until then, I shall bid you beautiful people adieu.